teacher I am now. No, I am your teacher. Alright, hey guys. So it's actually me. Just want to say hi and let you know that we are going to be doing the Judicial Branch virtual lesson number 2 today. So as you saw, we are going to be doing the Supreme Court cases. And just reminders, vocabulary words are in magenta, clickable links are in the aqua color, assignments will be in red, and here we go. Alright, so today we're talking about due process, and it's the legal requirements that the state must follow in order to protect the rights of citizens. Usually the term refers to the rights a person has while being arrested. So everybody's guaranteed a certain rights when they're being arrested or when they're being tried for a crime or something like that. So even our stormtroopers here, they have to go through due process. Okay, and the Bill of Rights is really what outlines the due process. Without the Bill of Rights, the government may take powers away from the citizens. Some of those rights are the Fourth Amendment, which protects against searches and seizures without a warrant. The Fifth Amendment, no person can be compelled to be a witness against themselves or pleading the Fifth. And the Sixth Amendment guarantees the rights. Citizens have the right to a speedy trial with a jury of their peers. All right. So these are not the only rights, or these aren't the only due process rights that are guaranteed in the Bill of Rights, but these are just 3 of them that I'm giving you right now. Really, the whole Bill of Rights as a whole goes through due process. So if you know your if you know the Bill of Rights, you really know a lot of your rights, and those are given to you here at this link. I'm not going to click on that now, but just know it's there in. Alright, so the first Supreme Court case that we're going to talk about is Gideon versus Wainwright. And this man, Gideon, he was accused of stealing, and he was arrested, and when he went to court, he asked the judge for a lawyer, and the judge said, oh, no, this isn't a type of case that requires a lawyer, so you're going to just defend yourself. So he tried to defend himself. He did so poorly, and of course he went to jail, and this was in the state of Florida. So when he went to jail, he wrote a letter to the Supreme Court, a handwritten letter to the Supreme Court, asking them to hear his case, and they did. And the outcome of the case was that the right of an attorney in criminal cases is fundamental right and required in state courts as well as federal courts. You can read up all on the court case here if you click on that link. All right. Next, we have Miranda versus Arizona. Now, if you've ever heard of Miranda rights, this is where Miranda rights come from. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in the court of law. So this ensured that if being charged with a crime, the defendant is made aware of the crime being charged, as well as the right to an attorney before being interrogated, right? You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the court will provide one for you. So you can read up all on this court case as well by clicking on this link. Next, we have New Jersey versus TLO. So there was a student at a high school that smelled of smoke. So school officials searched her bags and found marijuana in her bag, and she was arrested for it. Now, this case went to the Supreme Court, and what happened was the outcome was school officials can search a student if that search is reasonable under the circumstances. School officials do not need a warrant to do so. All right. You can read up all on this court case as well, get all the details for it, because that's a very important one to know. Next, you have Tinker versus Des Moines. And this one states that neither teachers or students shred the right of constitutional freedom of speech when they enter the schoolhouse. All right, so these students were wearing black armbands around their arm to protest the Vietnam War. So they were kicked out of school because they refused to take it off, and so they took their case to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that they had their First Amendment right to wear their armbands. Now, you can read up on this case here as well. So this is another important one, a school-related one as well, right? So next we have Plessy versus Ferguson, and this establishes separate but equal, allowing states and businesses to segregate if they so wished. And you will have the court case here. This really set up Jim Crow laws that you should remember from your U.S. history class. And then we have Brown versus Board of Education. And this overruled Plessy versus Ferguson and said that segregation in public schools was unconstitutional and all schools must be desegregated with all deliberate speed. Once again, you can read that here. Unconstitutional means that it is not supported by the Constitution. Segregation in public schools is unconstitutional. It's not supported by the Constitution, and it goes against the Constitution, essentially. So those are our Supreme Court cases. Thank you all for being here again. I hope you all are staying safe, staying healthy, staying active. See ya.